All right. The moment you have been waiting for is the await keyword. So when we have an asynchronous function or any promise-based function, right? Remember, they're the same. Um, Whenever we have a promise-based function, there's a special keyword we can use called await. The only rule for await is that it has to happen inside another asynchronous function. So in order to use await, we must decorate the function we are inside of also with asynchronous. So this creates a new step that you have to do. So await keyword only usable inside async function. So I actually want to await voting inside this function. So in order to do that, I just need to add the word async before the word function here. So that's going to upgrade this function also to be async, right? And that's okay. This function being async doesn't really matter. This function being async, this anonymous function is going to return a promise. Nothing is going to use this promise, right? This function happens when the click goes off. Nothing out there is going to then catch off of this executed function. It's okay that it returns a promise. That promise will be uncaught and it'll just disappear. But it gives us the magic ability to use the keyword await. And it's actually pretty easy to use await. I'm going to comment this back out and I'm going to comment this back in. We can now get back our try catch. And the only thing we have to do when we want to use a promise, I'm going to put the comment right here, to use a promise in a try catch, write await in front of the function call, right? So all I need to do is to write the keyword await. And what the keyword await is going to do is it's going to, for this function, so this function is happening asynchronously. That's what the top async is doing. It's saying, hey, look, run this code, but please don't block the rest of the code from running. So something else goes off and it runs this code while the rest of your code continues to run. This await right here says, for this particular line of code, yes, it's happening off on this side table. Yes, somebody else is running all this code so that the rest of my code can run. But that person, please wait for this promise to finish. Wait for the vote promise to finish. When the vote promise finishes, if something is returned, stored in result. We've now taken the need for .then and .catch and flattened out our code into what looks like synchronous code. This looks like normal synchronous code you would write. Do a thing, then do another thing, then do a third thing. So if I save this and I type in my age and I say it's 10, I catch my error again. My try catch block works because I am successfully awaiting inside an async function on this promise. And I've got to tell you, we are at one of the 4 or 5 most complicated things we can do in this course. Maybe 10, but this is one of the more complicated things that we will learn during the course of this course, is the idea of an async function, awaiting, and using try-catch blocks around them. So I'm able to catch the error that this promise throws because I'm in an async function try-catch block. Next, I'm old enough to vote, so this await is able to return the value that's returned up here to the result. And that's really it. What you need to know is that you can only use await inside the async function. It's used like this. Await some promise, and then it's equivalent to the resolved value of the promise. You can catch it in a constant, it doesn't have to be a constant, in an expression. In fact, it could be in any expression, right? I could do something like this: await vote age plus 3. Now that's not going to make any sense, right? If I do this, it's going to be really angry. It's going to be like object 3, because it's going to try to add them as if they're strings, and that doesn't make any sense, right? But you can use this await anywhere you could use a normal expression. And one of those use cases is assignment, right? This expression here can be assigned, the value of this expression can be assigned to a variable, and we use it that way all the time, especially when we are writing our AJAX calls. All right, that's it for async await.